Begin this afternoon with stunning new revelations about the former CEO of Abercrombie Fitch. Mike Jeffries was one of 3 men arrested and charged today as part of an international sex trafficking and prostitution ring, all while leading one of the most recognizable clothing stores in the world. And good afternoon, I'm David Navarro.
And I'm Tanya Rivero. Liz is off today. Jeffries was indicted on 16 federal charges. Prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York saying he used his power, wealth, and influence to traffic more than a dozen victims between 2008 and 2015.
Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles live in downtown Brooklyn with more. Darla.
Well, David, prosecutors here at the Eastern District of New York, at the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Eastern District of New York, really paint a disturbing picture of a former CEO and 2 accomplices who really exploited the dreams of aspiring models. They say this activity happened in New York City, the Hamptons, worldwide, and right now they are in federal custody.
Jeffries was the CEO of one of the most recognizable clothing retailers in the world. He was using his power, his wealth, and his influence to traffic men.
Mike Jeffries, the CEO of Abercrombie Fitch for 22 years, his romantic partner Matthew Smith and James Jacobson, all in federal custody Tuesday after being indicted for sex trafficking and interstate prostitution by the U.S. Attorney in downtown Brooklyn.
The charging documents describe in graphic and disturbing detail the violent and exploitive acts these defendants perpetrated.
Prosecutors say from 2008 to 2014, Jeffries lured aspiring models to engage in sex events, leading them to believe it could yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie, and asserted that not complying with requests for certain acts during the sex events could harm their careers, and promising modeling opportunities that did not exist.
The defendants pressured the men to consume alcohol, Viagra, and muscle relaxants known as poppers during the sex events. And they required the presence of staff during the sexual activity and ensured that the men did not leave the sex events until Jeffries and Smith decided that the sessions were over.
And prosecutors say Jeffries intentionally targeted heterosexual men who he knew would be unwilling to engage in certain sex acts.
When men did not or could not consent, Jeffries and Smith violated the bodily integrity of these men by subjecting them or continuing to subject them to invasive sexual and violent contact by body parts and other objects.
What's alleged in the indictment is not only beyond disturbing, dishonorable, and disgraceful, but simply put, it's criminal.
Now, Jeffries and Smith were arrested in West Palm Beach, Florida. They are in custody there. Jacobson was arrested in Minnesota. They will appear before a magistrate judge in those respective states and ultimately returned here to Brooklyn. Reporting live in downtown Brooklyn, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.